Thanks for an opportunity to be here just to explain the processes. By the way, my name is Ceppwawu. I'm the Deputy General Secretary of Ceppwawu. The purpose of our gathering today, which is our bargaining conference, were informed by the build-up processes from the regions. We have sectors. Sectors are defined in terms of the common companies that trade in the similar environment. Take, for example, petroleum. They produce petrol. So you got Chevron, you got BP. Those are competitors. They fall under one. Then you got the FFS. Those are refining companies under the same sector, which is petroleum. They have their own sector where their common demands are there. So they meet, and in preparation for this gathering of a conference, there are pharmaceutical companies that produce tablets, medicines, and all that. They've got different companies that they compete under that sector. They formulate position in terms of the standard which they want to see prevailing in that pharmaceutical area. So you got industrial chemical, the chemical industry, companies that actually develop chemicals and convert them. And there's a paper packaging company. So all of them, they go into their specific sector with the purpose of coming to conference and influence what they believe it's a living wage or minimum wage. So then this process of our conference is informed by those structures. It's meaningless for a Ceppwawu to have a conference when this starting point doesn't take place, because it's the one that informed the conference. So the process was started earlier in February, anticipated, because this gathering of a conference was projected last year, around November. So everyone was told, come the new year, this is what you need to. By end of February, demands should be made, specific demands that they want. So we came here now, we invited LRS, those are labor relations organization. They assist us in data in terms of projections, where the economy going, what has been our performance last year. You've got Naledi. They give us the broader aspect in terms of the performance of our economy in South Africa. They will give you the inflation and everything, and they project that with the current situation, what will be the year look like. That influence in terms of what strategy do we put in place when we have to engage. The same apply with our opponent, which is the employers. They do the same. They want to anticipate what will be the demand for us this year, which they can be budgeted to. So I'm saying the process has gone to that level, and as it is now, as I'm coming in here, they were going to a commission. Commission is trying to influence common ground. If they fail on commissions that has been designed, there's one that is for demand. Now you've got 7 regions bringing different demands. They infuse it through debate. If they fail in those commissions, they bring it into plenary here, where all of us are going to be presented. They will identify areas where they differ. Once they differ, it comes to plenary, then we vote if we have to vote for those issues. Finally, those issues will be consolidated and will represent the national union. So in other words, we are now going to put it as a face of the union, which has been informed by workers from the ground up to here. So the purpose, our conference start to find its expressions when comrades have started to engage, because they want to win, because their plant has told them this is what we want to achieve. Once they have defeated in those submissions, does not necessarily mean they go back and say, it was not catered for. It said that the influence was bigger than what we thought. The common denominator is that all what comes out of the conference becomes how Ceppwawu look at getting the workers' condition of employment being improved. So holistically, the purpose of conference is being transparently worker control, so that workers tell us what they want, and we comply in terms of the majority domination. So they influence each other, and then we will then take it these demands. We are expected to submit them by the 1st of April. But before we do that, we'll communicate the consolidated demands to all regions, so that by the time they're prepared to go for wage negotiations, they know exactly what we're demanding to employers. So at this point, this is how this process has been. It's one of the best in a sense that workers themselves tell us how they want to see themselves. If we comes to a point where there is a deadlock in terms of our wage negotiations, they can stand for those demands because they have put them and they want to realize those demands. So in the main, this is the process. If I can just sum up, that is how we come to this point. And what excites us is that at some point, with the influence of the Naledi giving a projection, the research companies that comes to assist us, workers get to be educated about not necessarily looking at what you wake up and think you must be real. You must look at all pros and cons before you come to a position. So it assists us, and we do acknowledge that the days are too short. For an example, negotiation schools. It has summarized versions of the process, but you need to sit in the class and be strategic in 2 weeks, if not a week. So that thing must be invested in your mind. The tactics of negotiations must be known. And you mustn't give a compromised position. The employers have gone very advanced. They can read you if you are not in agreement when you put position. We need to acquire the same skills. When there's a weakness in one of them, then we can impose and win through the weakness that they have. We should be able to access their strength and their weaknesses. So I think that's the position we are. This organization has been known. We are repairing this organization. One thing or either, there's been a lot of ideological fight, not even ideological, it's a power struggle. This has been coming from the Congress. We are trying to fine-tune the organization. One of the things that we even nearly forgot about it is that 20 February, this organization was born, and we're celebrating this period. We could not even have time to look back after we celebrated 10 years because it was so much to us than concentration. When we opened our eyes last year, November, we realized, next year we're coming to 20 years. It's something that one is so emotional to look at it. And when I joined this organization, I was a shop steward. If I'm not mistaken, I was 25 years old. Today I'm at the position where I'm a Deputy General Secretary. And I'm here privileged to be celebrating 20 years in the position where I am. I admire workers, the trust they've shown, including to the top 6 of the organization. The trust they gave us, it is even beyond when we realize that we have gone to 20 years. I think you'll be will be with us in celebrating. A number of emotions will be shared. But we appreciate that we can be able to acknowledge that we have got 20 years. That is still standing under this prevailing condition, and we're here to celebrate. It's one of the moments when you see tears running without asking for it to run, because it is a fulfillment in our own. Thanks for asking that. Preparation for May Day is at an advanced stage. We are currently cooperating with 7 regions, to identify the budget of what is needed. This one actually goes beyond, because there is our alliance partners, which is ANC, who will then go for the election, for general elections. And it's clear as an alliance that we stand for the ANC, understanding everything that has prevailed within the ANC. But we believe that we can put ANC right. If we have managed to do our own introspection and arrange Ceppwawu to be what it is today, COSAT will be the same, ANC will be the same. So May Day is at an advanced stage. By next week, we'll have been collected all the list of buses that are needed. We'll be looking at the budget for that, including the T-shirts for members on the ground. This is a moment when members celebrate for their selfless struggling in the oppression of the employers, in being deprived a certain right as being the employees. It's more than that. So every time we come, for us it's a plus factor. We're celebrating this after celebrating 20 years of our existence.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.